Stop feeding straws to turtles. They don't know how to eat them. But I don't even know how to eat a straw.
I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos lately, and what I've found is something's got a crack or a hole in it, you can fill that some bitch up with ramen noodles or some shit, super glue that, shave it all down, and it's like nothing ever happened. A little paint, good as new. So that being said, I no longer have an asshole. It's a rough existence, but I feel like I learned my lesson, and I no longer deserve an asshole. I don't deserve it. I nearly shit my pants 3 times in a 2-day span, all at work. That's irresponsible, bro. That is irresponsible. I played fast and loose with those probiotic drinks that's supposed to help your gut. Didn't think it was gonna work. Chugged the second one because it was actually kind of tasty. Created a chemical cocktail when I was the farthest away from my store doing my job out in the parking lot. And then I had to walk back into the store like fucking Frankenstein on fast forward, hoping to God that I would make it in there. I made it there by the skin of my teeth, which there's no skin on my teeth. I don't understand that expression. But I made it there. Did my biz. Realized no toilet paper. Boom, bang, 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 bang. Fucking Vietnam flashbacks of the time I went to North Carolina. I went to a rest stop. There was no toilet paper there. And I had to go on a recon mission. I had to open up the door, look around, nobody in there, fucking stealth soldier through that bitch, go through like 2 different stalls, finding toilet paper, come back, like nothing ever happened. Nobody was none the wiser. Fortunately enough for me, found some. I found some, everything fucking went smoothly after that. I feel like I lost butthole privileges. Ugh. It was a rough day. Rough 2 days for me.
TJ, why are you talking about assholes and shit?
I don't know. The whole episode's about shit takes. Do with that information what you will. This is Just Plain Filthy.
Do you want to hear some heavy shit? Some certified ass beaters? Then get ready, because ladies and gentlemen, it's motherfucking bounce!
Sorry about that story time rant at the beginning of all this. I just had a wild week. Both busy when I didn't want it to be, and boring when I didn't want it to be, and then a whole cavalcade of fun adventures throughout the bitch. And I've been in a very big, comedy mindset lately. I want to get back on that stage. I want to do stand-up again and get used to it. Maybe get back in the swing of things and do more shows. Figured I would just start riffing at the beginning of this. But today is going to be a very fun episode for me, because I get to judge all you motherfuckers. We did this on my previous show, Killing Time with Kill Murray, but I kind of opened the floor up to everything. I was like professional wrestling, comic books, movies, music, life, food, whatever. Today we are talking strictly about musical takes in a game that I call Good Take or Shit Take. Which you give me your unpopular or whatever hot take opinion on a music related topic, band, whatever. I will talk about if I think it is a good take or a shit take. Some of these might spur some conversation. Might spur some conversation. They might spur my own opinions right back at you. It might just be, you know what, I agree. Well, on to the next one. That's the fun. I haven't really vetted these, so some of these might be fucking wild. Some of them might be pretty tame. I know I got some of my own to throw in the mix, and I think they're not going to go over too well, but that's what today is all about. And of course, at the end of all of this, we got shows to plug. We got new music to talk about. We'll get into everything that you love in the tail end of this. So maybe you'll like this and you'll want more. We'll judge that when we come to it. The last couple episodes have been some of the bigger ones that I've ever done. Never really had the most success on a podcast platform, and we're getting up there. We're growing every week, so hopefully you fuck with this and we grow even more. So enough talking, enough bullshit. Let's get right down to the theme of it all. What are your unpopular, good or shit takes? Let's fucking go.
Alright, let's see what you go.
I asked this question on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Threads. And some of you gave me multiple answers. Some of you gave me only one. So I'm just going to sprinkle everybody's throughout this entire thing for what I feel is maximum effectiveness. Not too many things close to each other, right next to each other on the line. Ethan from Quick Before the Outbreak says Illuminatio is Chiodos' best album. Now, I don't know if that's a good take or a bad take. I personally don't agree, but only for the fact that that is probably my least listened to album from them. So I can't exactly say whether or not I think it's better. I'd have to listen to it a shit ton more and compare everything. But I will say I like their second album way more than I like their first album. And if it gets better over time, especially with a new vocalist, I'll give it a shot. Maybe after I post all this, I'll listen to that one again and I'll get back to you on a one-on-one level. Immediately breaking my own rule. Another question involving a different vocalist. Killswitch Engage is as good, if not better, with Jesse. See, I can answer this one. Shit take. I am not a fan of Jesse. I'm not saying he's a bad vocalist. I'm saying it's not what the band needs. And yes, I know Jesse came before Howard, but Howard pushed them to stardom levels and gave them something that a lot of other bands in the genre did not have, which brought people from outside of the metal to the band and made them universally loved. Jesse is a great vocalist, but at the same time, he's nothing special. He's nothing that stands out amongst other vocalists. So I feel like it's not what the band needs. It's what the band started with. It's what the band has now. But Howard is better. Saying Jesse is a shit take. Tony Sterling says, I don't make fun of mumble rap because I know I listen to metal bands where I'm positive what I'm hearing is not what I'm reading in the lyrics book. Okay, Tony, but hear me out. I am a rapper, and I make fun of mumble rappers. I also listen to metal where I know goddamn well there ain't saying any words, period. You're gonna sit there and tell me that is gonna be fucking the fitness gram pacer test is an aerobic capacity test. Like, in metal music, you can literally be reading a fucking Chinese takeout menu with a guttural voice and then just tell people that you're saying some uplifting shit about Jesus. And I'm pretty sure that's how Impending Doom became really fucking cool in the mid-2000s. But I will still not defend mumble rap. Shit take. Tony also says, I like D. Antwoord. That's my unpopular opinion. I'm not gonna say that you liking an artist is a shit take. It's kind of an asshole thing to do. But I will say that the novelty wore off for me a long time ago. Like, they got a couple tracks, but there's only so much I can listen to for like a 6.5 foot tall Chipotle bag with a box cut and a chick with a really bad haircut. Every song just being like, yo, I got a big dick! And the other one like, I talk like a baby. I'm not going to give it a shit take score because I don't like them. Or that I find it a shit take to find them enjoyable. But I will just go out here and say, I find it absolutely baffling that they can make songs that are incredibly weird every single time, yet the same exact thing every single time. I don't know how I feel about that band. Mitchell Reynolds on Threads says Elvis is grossly overrated. You know what? That's a W take. That is a good take because I think the exact same thing. The dude was a good performer. But he surrounded himself with other great performers and musicians, and hell, the dude didn't even write his own songs. If he wrote his own songs, I could give him a pass, but he's singing other people's music surrounded by much better musicians. Grossly overrated. He was an actor, he was a pretty boy, possibly a karate master, and he died on the toilet. That's gonna be his legacy, not his music. That was a good take. Ryan Burke on Facebook says, people are largely listening to music the wrong way, and that's why genres with singers they can't understand put them off. He goes on to say, music does not equal singing. It is one of the ingredients. For whatever reason, if there isn't someone speaking in clear native tongue, a lot of people earnestly say, what's the point? And you know what, Ryan? That is a great take, because I completely agree. Though I am a lyrics man and vocal guy myself, I appreciate everything, and every part of this song is another ingredient to this musical dish. I go back to what I said earlier with bands like Peeling Flesh that go and shit like that. Like, he's even said himself in interviews, he's just another instrument in the band. He is like added percussion with his vocal style. And doubling down on Tony's take before, like especially in metal music of the brutal variety, when you can't understand what they are saying, their voice is even more so an instrument as it is singing. If you got gutturals, you're doing high screams, all that shit, you can't decipher what they say. It is even more so an instrument. A good way to piggyback on another person's take and also make a great take yourself. I fuck with it. Good take. And my boy Michael Sativa, who I will be seeing perform later tonight, says the last good Slipknot album is Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses. I mean, good is subjective, but I have to agree. The last album that actually had songs that I cared about and actually listened to is Volume 3. I gotta give you the W on that. I would say good is subjective. Successful is not synonymous with good. They have been wildly more successful after that, but at the cost of what? Their albums, aesthetically, musically, have never been the same after Volume 3. So I will say the last good album, was Volume 3. And we still had another handful of comments and takes and stuff, but unfortunately, I don't know enough about any of the subject matter for me to say if I agree or disagree. So we're cutting it off there, but don't you worry, because you know what fucking time it is. It's time for me to get a little sassy with it, or praise somebody. And I guess another take of shit take or good take. It's gonna be like shit music or good music. Unapologetic music reviews. Let's fucking go. First on the list, Maine-based death metal band When the Dead Won't Die just released a brand new track titled Coiled Limbs. And about a year ago, I didn't really know about them too much. I've heard the name, never heard the band. Saw them live, and holy shit, these guys put on a performance. The vocalist, animated as ever, incredible vocal work. The bass tone always cuts through everything. Really, really solid drumming and technical ass guitars that don't stray too far away from death metal, so you can really get that heavy shit, but also we'll get a little bit of that whittly, 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 wah, woo, wah, bontana, bontan. Though this song is good, I don't think it's anywhere as good as like Awakening or anything off of the Depths of Delusion EP. I feel like if the vocals were a little higher in the mix, I could like this a lot more. At times it gets really muddy and kind of lost in the middle of everything. But the moments where you get to hear it, it sounds incredible. Those highs are on another level. I just wish they were showcased more. Still, nothing to scoff at. Definitely something I recommend everybody check out. And as far as grading, I gotta give this a B+. It doesn't hit as hard as those other ones, but it's definitely a great track. Keeping the metal theme going, Massachusetts-based blackened deathcore band Rituals of Sorrow dropped a new album titled Ire of God. And it's no hyperbole that this might just be my favorite New England metal release so far this year. It was incredible. The atmosphere of being dark and evil paired with, the common tropes in modern deathcore music. The slams, the fast fills and machine gun drumming, just the pauses that lead up to just gutturals and goblin noises. Everything was on par. My only real critique was that the bass lines were hard to hear. But then once those breakdowns came through, oh, that bass was popping, baby. That bass was popping and made all of the difference. So even though that the bass lines weren't prominent in the mix throughout the rest of the song, I liked everything else so much that I just have to give this an A+. Texas hardcore band Perdition just released a new EP titled Unrelenting Warfare, and I'm seeing it everywhere. They must have a great PR person or know people that know people, because I listened to it and it wasn't bad, but it was nothing special to the point where I would be sharing it all over the fucking place. Like, sure, the vocals are good, but it sounds like every other hardcore band. And the instrumentals are good, but they're mixed weird in the fact that nothing fucking pops. And then you got the snare tone, which literally just sounds like you're beating a pot in a pan out in your driveway, and then you added everything out in post. I was not a fan of this. It's one of those things where I see the vision and I know what it can be, but the execution wasn't exactly what I personally would have liked. I mean, it's somebody's jam, just not mine. I'll give this one like a B-, maybe even a C+. Once again, it's not bad. I see what it can be. It's just not that. I feel like I'm a glutton for punishment because I keep coming back to them, but King 810 just dropped a new single called Love Kills, and to nobody's surprise, I just don't fuck with it at all. I would love to know where King 810 went wrong, because for a while, yes, it was the same song over and over and over again. It was, I was born in Michigan and raised in Michigan, and all my friends were killed and my life was hard. Then he reached deep down into his soul and found out he was a SoundCloud rapper. And he also wanted to surround himself with nameless ghouls like he was a part of Ghost or something. And ever since then, it's just been radio metal from point A to point B, just constantly shitting their musical pants every single release. And I'm just constantly disappointed, but I keep coming back on the off chance that maybe someday I'll get another track like Fat Around the Heart and I will, feel something. But I keep holding out for hope, and I keep getting my fucking heart stomped on. Fuck you, Yavid, you bitch. Give this a D. Fuck you. And lastly, the Badasses in God's Hate are back, and this time they bring with them a new 3-song EP. And this time, it is personal. Every single song on this EP goes hard for a different way. Because as I said, it is personal. So this is all heart-wrenching, just cathartic outlet of emotions. And me being a lyrics guy, I knew I wasn't going to get the most complex thing. God's Hate has never been about just lyrical density. They've been about feeling. They've been about conveying a message the most blunt, the most honest, the most hardcore way that they can. And they did it beautifully in this. God's Hate is a band comprised of nothing but California badasses, as I said before. Just straight up madmen. You got both of the Young brothers. You got professional wrestler and hardcore frontman Brody King at the helm of everything. You got Martine Stewart, who is like the busiest man in hardcore right now with like 5 bands that he tours with and runs Sound and Fury and all this other bullshit. And you got Alec Faber, who is one of my favorite bassists in hardcore at this moment. There was no way this was going to miss, and it didn't. This was hard from point A to point B. And at the very, very end of Warriors Will Reign, it was a very nice homage to Bo Loaders, especially using clips from an episode that they told each other they were never going to make public. And then Colin Young made it public. And then just as a final thing, just to make sure the band never loses Bo and his name never dies, they put it at the very end, just conveying their whole mission statement, essentially. I needed an outlet. I wasn't a bad kid. I just needed to get it out of me. And I hope that my whole family knows I wasn't a bad guy. And that's how it ends. My heart hurt. My blood was pumping. I wanted to throw a punch at something. And their mission, it was accomplished. They said a couple years ago when they took a hiatus, they said, the job is done. Well, you games came back. I think the job is done again. Congratulations on a job well done. I gotta give this a solid A. To make sure y'all motherfuckers come out to some shows, I gotta let you know about the bangers going on in your area. So that's what we're gonna do. To end this shit out, here's what is going down in the Northeast. You know, it might be too late for me to effectively promote this, but whatever. Buried in Wells 5 is happening tomorrow night in Wells, Maine, and the lineup is insane. There's ley lines, there's lanterns, there's Egen, there's Horsegrave, Taxi Cab Dismemberment, Buck 50, Endure, and my homies Play for Blood. It is just $10 entry. There's going to be plenty of things to do, and it's all outside. So go out to Wells, Maine, and get ready for a fucking party. But that's not it, because Play for Blood's got another show within a week from that moment, and it's my fucking show, and you best be there, you motherfuckers. August 28th at the Bungalow Bar and Grill in Manchester, New Hampshire, Just Plain Filthy presents Night of Filth 3. Honestly, this is like the 10th one that we've thrown as Just Plain Filthy, but this is the biggest, this is the baddest, this is the heaviest. We're featuring 5 metal and hardcore bands and 3 hip-hop acts, featuring Eudora, Arms Like Teeth, Play for Blood yet again, Deceptions, Southgate, hip-hop artist Dial Star, hip-hop artist Aaron Brown, and yours truly, Kill Murray. Tickets are $15. There's cheap beers, there's good food, there's plenty of merch. The sound is going to be incredible. Brought to you by both Brandon Benson and Hero the MC. Bars Over Bars will be spinning all night, doing photography for the artists and the DJing. So it's going to be awesome. Come out to Manchester, New Hampshire, August 28th, next Friday, for one hell of a show. September 4th at the Hen House in Buffalo, New York. $20 gets you Pissant, Pure Bliss, Self-Inflicted, Fourth and Goal, and Cease to Exist. I know it's outside of New England, but you know, these bands deserve to be seen, and it's not too far if you make a day out of it. Go out there, get lunch, go to the show, stay overnight, make it back in the morning. You got this. And finally, Sunday, September 13th at Madrid's in Portland, Maine. It is an all-ages affair for just $15 day of, featuring some hardcore bands you need to fucking witness. We got Bad Move, we got Cooked, we got Sue, and we have My Hands Were Tied. If you're not at this show and you're in the area, you've committed a crime and you need to go straight to jail. I will be in Alaska at this time, so I have an alibi. You don't. Stop fucking around and get to the goddamn gig. Any of these shows that you hear about on this podcast and you have time and you have the money, you best be at these shows, because this scene is one of the best scenes in a long fucking time. We got 2 more episodes of the Just Plain Filthy podcast before we take a little bit of a break, because I will be on the West Coast with family and then going up to Alaska for a full week, coming back and immediately playing a show. And I will have no time at all to record anything. But I will tell you all about it on the episode I do when I get back. So stay tuned for that. Keep listening to music. Keep sending me your flyers, your new music. Give me something to promote. I will see you again soon.